Om. 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 Welcome, respected friends. Another day we are here spending time together in this divine most endeavor of studying Upanishadic Shastras. Great it is that we are able to maintain that consistency every day. Om Shri GURUBHYO NAMAHA. So, Upanishad mantra, Adhyayana with Bhashyam. Before that, Upanishad mantroccharanam. Before that, Mangalacharana Shloka Sankalpa. Before that, a common sense thought. Before all of that, the Parayanam of Veda mantra. This is how we are doing every day. In the Veda mantra, it's Rigveda Ashtama Mandalam. We are doing today. We have to do the 13th Anuvaka. Let us start. Om अथ वेदपारायणं ऋग्वेदः अष्टममण्डलं त्रयोदशोऽनुवाकः ॐ इन्द्रस्सुदेषु सोमेषु क्रतं पुनीत उक्त्यं विदेवृधस्य दक्षसो महानिशः सप्रथमे व्योमनि देवानां सदने वृधः सुपारः शुश्रवस्तमस्तमप्सुजित् तमः वेवाजसातय इन्द्रं भराय शुष्मिणं भवानः सुम्ने अन्तमस्सखा वृधे इयन्त इन्द्रगीर्वणो रातिः क्षरति सुन्वतः मन्दानो अस्य बर्हिषो विराजसे नूनं तदिन्द्र तद्धिनो यत्त्वा सुन्वन्त ईमहे रयिं नश्चित्रमाभरा स्वर्विदं स्तोतायत्ते विचर्षणिरतिप्रशर्धयद्गिरः वया इवानुरोहते जुषन्त यतो रत्नवज्जनया गिरः शृणुधीजरितुर्हवम् मदे मदेव वक्षिथा सुकृत्वने क्रीडन्त्यस्य सूनृता आपो न प्रवता यतिः यतीः अयाधियाय उच्यते पतिर्दिवः उतोपतिर्य उच्यते कृष्टीनाम् एक इद्वशी नमो मृधैरवस्युभिः सुतेरण स्तुहि श्रुतं विपश्चितं हरीयस्य प्रसक्षिणा गन्धारादाशुषो गृहं नमस्विनः तूतुजानो महेमते श्वेभिः पृषि तप्सुभिः आयाहि यज्ञमाशु वैश्यमिद्धिते इन्द्रशविष्टसत्पतेरयं गृणत्सु धारय श्रवः सूरिभ्यो अमृतं वसुत्वनं हवे त्वा सूर उदिते हवे मध्यं दिने दिवः जुषाण इन्द्रसप्तिभिर्न आगहि आतुगहि प्रतुद्रवमत्स्वासु तस्य गोमदः तन्तुं तनुष्व पूर्व्यं यथा विदे यच्छक्रासि परावति यदर्वावति वृत्रहन् यद्वा समुद्रे अन्धसो वितेदसि इन्द्रं वर्धन्तु नो गिर इन्द्रं सुतास इन्दवः इन्द्रे हविष्मतीर्विशो अराणिषु तमिद्विप्रा अवस्यवः प्रवत्वतीभिरूतिभिः इन्द्रं क्षोणीरवर्धयन्वया इव त्रिकदृकेषु चेतनं देवासो यज्ञमत्नत तमिद्वर्धन्तु नो गिरः सदा वृतम् स्तोतायत्ते अनुव्रत उक्तान् ऋतुधारत्तदे शुचिः पावक उच्यते सो अद्भुतः तदिद्रुद्रस्य चेतति यह्वं रत्नेषु धामसु मनो यत्रावितद्धदुर्विचेतसनः यदि मे सख्यमावर इमस्य पाह्यन्धनः दन्दसः येन विश्वा अतिद्विषो अथारिमा कदा त इन्द्रगिर्वणः स्तोता भवाति शन्धमः कदा नो गव्ये अश्व्ये वसौ दधः उदते सुष्ठुता हरिवृषणा वहतो रथम् अजुर्यस्य मदिन्तमं यमी महे तमीमहे पुरुष्टुतं यह्वं रत्नाभिरोतिभिः निबर्हिषि प्रिये सददद्वितां वर्धस्वानुपुरुष्टुतरुशिष्टुताभिरूतिभिः दुःक्षस्व पिप्युषीमिषमवाचनः इन्द्रत्वमवितेदस्थितास्तु वतो अद्रिवः ऋतादियर्मिते धियं मनोयुजम् इहत्यासधमाद्यायुजानः सोमभीतये हरि इन्द्रप्रतद्वसु अविस्वर अविस्वरं तु ये तव रुद्रा सहसक्षत्रश्रियम् उतो मरुत्वतेर्विशो अविप्रयः इमा अस्य प्रतूर्तयः पदं जुषन्त यद्दिवि नाभायज्ञस्य सन्दधुर्यथा विदे अयं दीर्घाय चक्षसे प्राचि प्रयत्यध्वरे मिमीते यज्ञमानुषग्विचक्ष्य वृषायमिन्द्र ते रत उतो ते वृषणा हरि वृषा त्वं शतक्रतो वृषा हवः वृषाग्रावा वृषा मनुमदो वृषा सोमो अयं सुतः वृषा यज्ञोऽयमिन्वसि वृषा हवः वृषा त्वा वृषणं हुवे वज्रिं चित्राभिरोतिभिः भावन्त हि प्रतिष्ठुतिं वृषा हवः 14th मंत्र यदिन्द्राहं यथा त्वमीशिय वस्व एक इतो स्तोता मे घोषका स्याद् शिक्षेयमस्मै दित्सेयं शचीवते मनीषिणे यदहं गोपतिः स्याम धेनुश्च इन्द्रसूनृता यजमानाय सुन्वते गामश्वं पिप्युषी दुहे न ते वर्ता स्थिरादस इन्द्रदेवो न मर्त्यः यद्धित्ससि स्तुतो मघम् यज्ञ इन्द्रमवर्धयद्यद्भूमिं व्यवर्तयद चक्राण ओपशन्दिवे वावृदानस्य ते वयं विश्वादनानि जिज्ञुषः भूतिमिन्द्रावृणीमहे व्यन्तरिक्षमतिर्मन्मधे सोमस्य रोचना इन्द्रो यदविनद्वलम् उद्गा आजदङ्गिरोऽभ्य आविष्कृण्वन् गुहासदेः अर्वाञ्चं नुनुदेवलम् इन्द्रेण रोचना दिवो दृढानि दुर्हितानि च स्थिराणि न पराणुदे अपामूर्मिर्मदन्निव स्तोम इन्द्राजिरायते विते मदा अराजिषुः त्वं हि स्तोमवर्धन इन्द्रास्युक्तवर्धनः स्तोतॄणामुतभद्रकृत इन्द्रमित्केशिना हरि सोमपेयाय वक्षतः उभयज्ञं सुराधसम् अवां फेनेन नमुजेः शिर इन्द्रोदवर्तयः विश्वा यदजयस्पृदः मायाभिरुत्सिसृप्सत इन्द्रद्यामारुरुक्षदः अवदस्यूगं रदूनुधाः हसुन्वामिन्द्र संसदं विशोचीं व्यनाशयः सोमभा उत्तरो भवन् ॐ शान्तिः 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 Great. Every day, little time spent in Veda Mantrocharana, always good. Rama, friends, in today's common sense thought, as once we have seen this thought, when we worship gurus or devatas properly with all processes and shraddhas, what they bless us with, you know, if we insistingly ask with all the materialistic things, but that will make us again get lost in the worldliness. Again, if we ask us to bless us, They bless us in removal of all our problems. But then we are again self-sufficient and make in India ki tarah, make in our own life. We are self-sufficient in creating again so many problems. है ना? Therefore, these are not the ways by which the divinity wants to bless us. है ना? You cannot bless your children always by cleaning the dirt which they clear, which they make. Sorry, the dirt which they make, cleaning it not your correct way of loving them or blessing. Then what? Teaching them to clean. In that effort only they know how difficult it is. Then what? They stop dirtying the things. This is how a wise person teach the children. Same way the devatas also help us, bless us in the true sense, only in giving us this subuddhi. Remember that one. Therefore, willingly, lovingly, what they give us is subuddhi. Therefore, ask for it and leave it to their discretion after upasanas, pujas, to bless us with the best what they want to give us. That time also they bless us with subuddhi only. And in our life, for you and me, the most wanted thing, important thing to begin with, to continue with, everywhere, wherever we go, till the last moment of realizing the self is this subuddhi only. है ना? न हस्ते यष्टिमादाय देवकम हस्ते यष्टिमादाय न रक्षन्त. In that means holding the stick in the hands by warding away our problems or enemies or difficulties. That way they don't help us. So too, by holding the stick in the hands, by beating us, punishing us also, they won't protect us like that. Like sometimes some parents give those bangings to the children to protect them only, or the government puts the criminals behind the bars to protect them, teach them. In this way, the devatas don't bless. They don't protect us like that. They won't come to our rescue like that. Then in what way they come? Yam tu rakshitum icchanti. Whomever they want to do the rakshana, protection, tam subuddhya yojayanti. To those people, they give subuddhi. They endow them with subuddhi. They yoke them with the subuddhi. So, bala buddhi vidya dehu mohi. Then only हरहु कलेश विकार क्लेश विकार का हरण होता है. So to in every of the Gayatri mantras we chant Dhiyo yo nah prachodayat. Gayatri mantra mein most powerful. The other day we saw in Skanda Purana the Gayatri mantra mahima. So naha dhiyaha prachodayat. So therefore what we should seek, what the Lord wants to give us is this subuddhi only. Sushtu buddhi, the best buddhi. You know, what is buddhi is which thinks, which discriminates, which knows, which understands, which becomes convinced, which guides all other equipments to function. That sort of activity in us is called buddhi. And that buddhi is subuddhi. That subuddhi means the best of the buddhi. Both occasions of the worldly vyavahara as well as adhyatmika. That subuddhi getting is the greatest blessings from the Lord we can receive. And what are the steps that are involved in the subuddhi? If we have that subuddhi, if we are blessed by the Lord, even if we listen it now, Unless the Lord says tathastu, this jnanam also will not remain with us. Both to you who is a listener and to me, the speaker. It's a mere transaction of I speak to you, you listen to me. Informational level only. But the deeply this buddhi is awakening is the blessings of the Lord. Okay. In this subuddhi, first thing is what? Becoming aware of I. I am an individual. Consciously, deeply feeling. Second, questioning myself as to how I am. Like we ask in the pleasantry exchanges, how are you? Isn't it? In the same way, this buddhi, after becoming aware of me or I, questions how am I, honestly unbiased way. In that questioning of how am I, again sub questions are we happy? Are we deeply happy? Are we continuously happy? Are we permanently happy? Are we infinitely happy? The B part of the question is, or are we feeling the sense of fear, sense of insecurity, sense of limitations, sense of miseries? You know, this is what the Subuddhi should ask us. Now, let us ask now only. Close the eyes and see. Is there infinite, continuous, pure happiness and bliss in us, along with the fearlessness, etc.? No, there is always confusion, there is always fear in me. Sense of limitation is in me, dukkha in me, isn't it? Then this subuddhi, either it by itself thinks or goes to the guru or refers to shastras to diagnose the cause of this sort of life which is not wanted. Like, we don't want to be miserable, we want to be happy. We want that happiness not conditioned, we want the unconditional, not limited, unlimited, not apurna but the purna. But that's not there with us now, isn't it? Even at this moment, that is incompleteness in us, limitation in us, sense of want in us, a continuous, constant fear. And because of these two, want and fear, something or other we want to do and achieve. And in that also, we are definitely doing, we are definitely achieving. But those doings and achievings are not really giving us that needed completeness, fulfillment, happiness. So the Subuddhi starts thinking like that. Exactly this is what the Garuda Ji was doing yesterday in Tulsi Ramayana. So he went to Naradaji, he went to Brahmadeva, then he went to Lord Shiva. No, none of them answer him. They say, Shiva, lastly, what Shivaji says was ultimate, the best of the teaching so far, the perfect thing. The sequence of the sadhana he mentions in 4 or 5, in two chaupais. Same thing was done some 2 3 dohas back also. You know, Shiva Parvati Samvad mein, from the mukha of Parvati ji, Tulsidas ji makes it right. How the Manushya Janma's rarity, and in that the Vidwan, you know, Viragi, Mumukshu, then Atmagnya, then Brahmagnya, then Rama Bhakta. How nicely she told. This also yesterday, beautiful. We'll again see it today. Now, step by step sadhanas, Shivji tells. This is how it happens. Then he tells a long time when you listen to satsang, then only the clarity start coming to you. And satsanga on various things in which Adi Madhya Anta Sri Rama alone is there. I am sending you to the best place where Nirantara Rama Katha goes on. Go there, listen. That's how Shiva Bhagavan sends Garuda Bhagavan to the Kaga Bhusundi. Kaga Bhusundi, Garuda Ji was in that search. He had that fear in him, dukkha in him regarding Sri Rama, whether he is his own Swami Narayana. If he is my Swami Narayana, then the Narayana is Sarvagna Sarva Shaktiman. Then how can he be bound by that Tuchcha Rakshasa, Meghanatha, with his Nagapasha when he shot? Ram Lakshmण जी बंदित हुए हैं कैसे हुए हैं how can it be he is my lord uh, not infinite or he is not my lord that sort of doubts question then he is told the entire Rama Katha which we study as Sri Ramacharita one of the gods. So here also the Subuddhi is the one which inquires like this either thinks for itself or consults the Shastras or consults the experts, the gurus. Through all these three resources, answer is common that I am limited, I am miserable, I am suffering because I am by my own choice holding on to those which are the givers of sufferings, miseries, and limitations. This is what the Subuddhi deeply thinks. Then, in that Subuddhi's deep thinking, one by one thing comes to its understanding. I am, you know, the victim of the vasanas. I am the victim of the desires because of vasanas in the buddhi, convinced desires that मुझे चाहिए ही. Then I am victim of the mind with its agitations, presenting those agitations to the buddhi again. Then the buddhi says, yes, we both are suffering because we don't have this thing. We should have that one. So let us plan. That mana with its emotion, buddhi with its intellection, plans as to how to obtain whatever is planned by them. Then they order the sharira, the indriyas, to execute that plan called as actions. So I am bound at my vasana level, I am bound at my buddhi level, I am bound at my mana level, I am bound at my indriya level and at the stula sharira level. That's why I am suffering. A subuddhi catches this point. Then through all this, exactly today's topic in our Upanishad also is said. Through all these, I am bound to the world. Of course, with all sentiments, emotions, expectations, dependencies. That's why I am not free. That's why I am miserable. And yesterday in Prashnottara Rathamala, see what is the hetu for all bandhana and dukkha? Yachanam, yancha. We have seen yesterday how detailedly we discussed. So this subuddhi is the one which makes us understand. That subuddhi is given to us by the Lord when we worship Him. Now, as this subuddhi came to us, have we in this way deeply analyzed what are the causes of our being limited called as bondage? नहीं मतलब अभी सुबुद्धि नहीं आया शास्त्र सुन रहे हैं बट बुद्धि जागृत नहीं हुआ पढ़ रहे हैं शास्त्र बट द बुद्धि इज नॉट अवेकेंड टू go deeply to apprehend, analyze, understand these things. Then again, it is by my mistaken choice that I am identified with them and my own self accepted weaknesses not allowing me to detach from them. Self accepted weaknesses not allowing me to detach from them, then feel that infinitude, that freedom. Which again the same Upanishads Guru says. That you are suffering in your limitations because of your upadhi tadatmya. If you drop yourself, all of them, all those upadhi, you are the infinite self. But this I am reluctant to listen. I know I am doubtful to understand, and I am not confident to accept, and I am not ready to relinquish all those associations and identities. A Subuddhi understands, oh, ho, this is where I have to hit with the hammer. This is the meaning of the Adhyatmic sadhana to get all strengths, all convictions to detach from all upadhis. First of all, accepting that as long as I am with the upadhis, I am bound miserable. Only when I free my identity with the upadhis, that I will be infinitely blissful. That's called moksha. The Subhuti understands it. Then Subhuti also understands it. Does it mean that all these upadhis should be killed, or can one live without them? No, you cannot kill them, you cannot be without them. That Subhuddhi thinks and understands it. Therefore, use them, you know, for the purpose they are given. That's it, to serve the outer world. They are not for my any fulfillment of any desire. Like the driver of a car, owner. He uses the car only for the owner's works, not for himself. And when required, he fills it with petrol or diesel. He gets it repaired if required, takes it to the garage required. But has he any bondage with them, with him? No, with that car. Because उन्हों कार मेरा नहीं है, कार मेरे लिए नहीं. Remember these two thoughts. It's not mine, it's not for me. The will doesn't bind. Therefore, the owner, when it sells it off the car, he doesn't bother. Think about it. Subuddhi thinks like this. Do we have the deep Subuddhi in us to become introverted, to become aware of ourselves, to question ourselves what's the standpoint we are now in or position we are in? Are we able to understand and accept that we are feeling the sense of misery, sense of bondage, sense of incompleteness, sorrow, fear, struggle? हर पल यही हो रहा है. मेरे को ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए. See those great rishis and munis and mahatmas. They are living a life of freedom, mukti. Why? What's the difference? They use the upadhis, we are used by the upadhis. Isn't it? We are conditioned by them, they are not. Why we get conditioned? Through the upadhis, we want something to achieve outside for our sake. No, I don't need anything. I am infinite blissful self. When this tattva jnana is very clear in this subuddhi, then it will act or live life like this for a long period of time. Use the upadhi for service. I want nothing. Be attentive. In this effort only, that subuddhi knows. One, its mind is getting freed from agitations. Two, his intellect is getting freed from the desires. Three, his vasanas are getting purgated or eliminated. He knows it. That Subuddhi knows this is happening. That's called sadhana. Conscious sadhana. Then that Subuddhi only makes us identify with our own essential self. The Vyatireka aspect of sadhana, the Anvaya of the one. The deep Subuddhi's obtainment is what we have to do all upasanas for. It is by grace of Lord only that Subuddhi comes, which becomes so deeply introverted to think all this with all the pauses required, with all the balances required, and understand at every aspect. And slowly gathers that special strength required. Strength is already there inside, it has to invoke. You know, our life is like what? An example. I don't know how much fit this example to convey, isn't it? You know, we go to again buy a car showroom. So one car is there for 5 lakhs, another is for 8 lakhs. See the thing, 8 lakhs car obviously has more facilities, amenities, conveniences, mileages. And the funniest part is that we can afford to buy the 8 lakhs. But somehow that conjuice mind comes at that place and compromises and goes for the 5 lakhs. Then he gets settled in it with all its discomforts. Understand the example? Or in any of the shop you have gone, let's say to buy the refrigerator, anything. So that the two-door ala is single door is there. 4 star is there, 5 star is there. फर्क 3-4 हजार एंड 3-4 हजार एवरीडे यू आर नॉट पेइंग एक बार खरीदा तो 15 साल के लिए होता है एंड द फनीएस्ट थिंग इज व्हाट वी कैन अफोर्ड बट somehow we get compromised we go for the low whether it is buying the kapda whether it's going to hotel and ordering for best of the food whether going to buy a good cell phone with more features. Those who don't afford, can't afford, they majburi. That's anyway. उनको तो necessity के लिए whatever minimum they have to buy, they buy. है ना? But those who can afford, go to the grocery shop. Know that each company, depending on their whatever the efforts, they mark the price. तो चीनी है, तो 80 रुपए का किलो है, 60 का किलो है. कितना फर्क? Only 20 रुपए. And in our bank, we have lakhs and crores of rupees. We have so many of the, what do you call them, investments or fixed deposits. But we compromise with 20 रुपए here. फल के दुकान में जाते हैं. So the best fruit 200 rupee kg. The second best 160. The 40 rupees we look at there, we can afford. But 160 का लेकर आते. Think about our mentality. Most of us, except few daring ones who say तो नहीं है तो नहीं आज कल के लिए आज मैं बेस्ट खरीदूंगा. They go for the best only for everything and they enjoy it. They get that 8 lakh car, they go for the 200 kg mango, they get that Srini 80 का 100 का है तो दे दो. And they are out of that funny problem of getting satisfied with the lower one. They are enjoying the best. Very few they are there. Maximum of them in this way go for all concessions, even though they can afford. Point is they can afford. In the same way, we can afford to detach from the upadhis and be a liberated being. Isn't it? But that subuddhi, as long as it is not there, we compromise. And when the subuddhi is not there or not strong enough, then we compromise. Every point. Like, I can sit for my puja 1 hour. I can also sit for TV. Which is costlier, which is better? This one, but then my subuddhi when doesn't work there, then I compromise with puja and I go for that something to do to this class. It is always good because Tattva Shastra Shravana, Vedanta Shastra, Upanishad Shastra, Moksha Shastra, Brahmagnana Shastra, Brahmatmaiki Bodha Shastra, Shruti Mata Upanishad, we are studying. How much great is this? We can afford, हमारे पास है, but that whatever the reason it is, whether you call it as inhibition or fear or doubt or suspicion or laziness, कुछ भी कारण का or procrastination or justification or giving some extra value to something else other than this, कारण कुछ भी हो, our subuddhi did not work there. दुर्बुद्धि worked. Therefore, आज मैं क्लास नहीं जाऊंगा. आज मैं अपना ध्यान नहीं करूंगा. आज मैं अपना उपासना नहीं करूंगा. आज I will not do this good thing. So that weakness in us, this subuddhi understands. Oh, ho. Then the subuddhi understands the highest thing, which is so tough. Only subuddhi will understand. What is it? Sadhana karo ya na karo, marna to hai. Therefore, साधना करके मरूंगा मैं, करते हुए मरूंगा मैं। एंड अदर्स मरने के डर से साधनाएं नहीं करते हैं, एंड साधनाएं नहीं करते हुए मरते ही रहते हैं एवरी मोमेंट बाय डूइंग ऑल द नॉनसेंस। You know, like the warrior in that battleground, he is ready to die first. Then only he goes to the war. Somebody joined army means Air Force Navy means he is ready to die. That's the highest decision. For that reason only they are respected, valued so much. And they say, yes, I'll die for the sake of serving my nation. Nation first. I have my own body, I have my own mind, I have my desires, I have my mother, my father, my wife, children, all. But they are all secondary. My nation is first to me. For that I am ready to die. That is Subuddhi. Highest Buddhi it is. Anyway, I'll die. Why not for the whole nation of 140 crores? Wow. That thought that all soldiers of that age they get it is. For that we have to do namaskar to them. They are 1,000 lives ahead of us. We claim to be spiritual, but we cannot have subuddhi even to sacrifice small, small things for our spiritual sadhana. Neither our ego we can sacrifice, nor our own likes and dislikes, nor our daily habitual way of nonsenseful living. कुछ भी हम नहीं छोड़ते. That fellow is ready to sacrifice life. That's why Puja Gurudev, we serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies, false values, within and without. That's called Subuddhi. The deep Subuddhi in me. Such person is always antarmukha. Always he is seeing in what way I am identifying with the upadhis, how to reject it, how to dissociate, and how I have to identify with my Nitya Atmaswarupa, with my real self. The one in whom the Buddhi has awakened, he is only on this job. Just like that soldier ready to sacrifice his life for the sake of country. Life only sacrificed. Therefore, the Nidra, Bhojana, रेस्ट कुछ भी हो यू नॉट केयर रात भर उनको करना है तो रात ही करेंगे see their thing in the coldest atmospheres they'll be there or the hottest deserts they are there and in the deep jungles they are there or in those mountain heights where even oxygen is difficult to get they are there with whatever minimum they have. I believe every of the soldier will be the highest spiritual seeker in his next life because what needed for spiritual seeking is detachment from the upadhis. He has achieved that. वो जितना जल्दी युद्ध में मर रहा है वो उतना जल्दी महाज्ञानी बनेगा अगले जन्म में बिकॉज फुल्ली क्वालिफाइड. See that? Wonderful it is. Like that soldier, the one who is ready to sacrifice his all comforts, all desires, all attachments. He alone can conquer his inner enemies to reach to the spiritual destination or goal. All that calls for subuddhi. Listening to Shastra is not subuddhi. Doing all our upasanas is not subuddhi. There somehow somebody has told we are doing that also very mechanically, like this class. But some affinity has come, so we come to class. But where is the subuddhi in this entire class, even beyond and before, even to the speaker? That subuddhi is the blessing of the Lord. That is called as prachodhanam of the dhi. That is the meaning of balabuddhi vidya dehumohi. Harakaresa vikara. So pray for that subuddhi, which makes me so deeply introverted and not 1 hour per day or 1 hour per week. No, all the time in that mode. He has forgotten the world outside. He is aware of the world inside. He is aware of the entire dramas that are happening inside. He becomes more and more deeply acute, very subtle. So this vasana manifesting as this desire push me to this activity, expect me to have that phala. So the vasana means karanamaya anandamaya kosha or karanamaya sharira, then the buddhi vijnanamaya, then the mana manomaya. So this is how I get identified with these things. And I am cocooned in this. Then he says, can I live without enjoying that karma phala? Without doing that karma to get that karma phala? Without getting agitated in the mind? Without that desire? It has come desire. Because there is a vasana. Now I am a sakshi to it. I will not go further to fulfill it. Let me see what will happen. See the dareness, courage. We can afford. Like we can afford the 8 lakhs car, but still we buy for 5 lakhs. So too, we can afford to remain as sakshi to our own manas sankalpas, to our manorajya, to mano kamanas. Instead of that, we are flowing with them only. Then they have become more powerful. Then they are guiding, and commanding our life. He is called Jiva Samsara. But for the one who has become Subuddhi Yukta, like in Tapon Maharaj, Shatkam also, Satyasya Satyaha Sudhiya eva Gamyaha. Sudhiya eva Gamyaha. Only Sudhi alone can understand that Mahatapasvi Tapon Maharaj. Like in Gita also. Gita Dhyanam Partho Vatsaha Sudhihi Bhokta. That Gita Jnana, Gita named milk, who consumes, who is qualified that for that is Sudhihi. The one who has got Sudhihi. By Daivobhasana, his own Prayatna, who has invoked Subhuti in him. He alone first comes to Gita class regularly or Upanishads, then deeply involves in every subject discussed. He understands, he gets convinced, then he lives life like that. ऐसा करते 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 the entire Upadita and Jiva Bhavas go away. Slowly he realizes, yes, I am that Brahman. है ना? जैसे सुबह 4 बजे या 3 बजे से देखते 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 रोशनी आ जाती है ना? The जागरण, what do you call, sunlight comes, sunrise, etc. In the same way, in the effort, this type, in that seeker, the Atmanubhava Surya gets risen or उनका उदय हो जाता. But all that calls for Subuddhi, continuous Subuddhi. So much, all the time. Even is inhaling, exhaling also, he is doing with his Subuddhi. Even a morsel of food, he is taking with Subuddhi, knowing that ये खाना तभी के लिए अच्छा है कि नहीं, इतना क्वांटिटी अच्छा है कि नहीं शरीर के लिए. In turn, such a sharira will be helpful for my sadhana or it is disturbing to me. Any person, any interaction with any person, any topic that's discussed, this Subuddhi so acutely thinks. So acutely he thinks whether it will help me for sadhana is like that all sports personnel till they are in the sports field. Not only that, everyone, those wonderful women, girls who compete for the Miss India, Miss Universe, Miss World, nowadays they are yehi ghum rahe. So when I was looking at them, I really felt so much respect for them. So much respect in the heart. How much of the diet control, which is the highest achievement, tongue is the one which destroys us. How much of the variety of exercises they must be doing to maintain themselves in that day, to compete at that highest level. The field they have chosen may be the grass. That's okay. That we'll discuss in another class. But the tapasya which they are doing, unse compare karo, we are good for nothing only. Not an ordinary tapasya, consistently to maintain it. फॉर ए स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन हर दिन 4-6 घंटे वो ग्राउंड में जाकर मेहनत करता है. हमारा ग्राउंड मेडिटेशन है. 4-6 घंटे कभी बैठे हम सपने में भी एक बार? see his diet control, see other exercises, see his discipline. Naito, they will not be selected in the team. Isn't it? Mahayogis, that's why I respect all of them, including the great politicians. ना दिन है ना रात है ना गर्मी है ना सर्दी है ना घर के फंक्शंस है कुछ नहीं anywhere any need comes for society they have to run there. सुबह शाम कोई एक्सीडेंट हुआ जाना पड़ेगा कोई भूचाल हुआ जाना पड़ेगा युद्ध हो रहा है तो जाना पड़ेगा न दिन है न रात है महायोगीज देर आर please remember that positive aspect let us see. The other side, they monger for the power and then they have some negativities to suppress others. They do all mischief to maintain their power. वो तो फिर बेवकूफी वो दूसरे क्लास में डिस्कस करना. But even to do that, how much active one has to be, how much dynamic one. That's the subuddhi. These are all MLAs, MPs. When they didn't become that, at that lower level, mere कार्यकर्ता और स्टूडेंट सारा उनके अंदर का पोटेंशियलिटी डॉर्मेंट. Now, once they get that power, see the amount of meetings they have, projects they make, plannings they do, execute it. Maha Yogi. All of that is Subuddhi in that particular field. For us, Subuddhi in the Adhyatmikata. Till that Subuddhi doesn't awaken in us, we will struggle in the world, in life, we'll struggle in our mind, we'll struggle spiritually, and the struggle leads only Shramaya vai Kevalam, no result, only misery, frustration. इतना किया मैंने लेकिन कुछ नहीं हुआ होगा नहीं कुछ भी क्योंकि एक्चुअली जो करना है नहीं किया. व्हाट इज दैट इन्वोकिंग भगवत कृपा फॉर द अवेकनिंग ऑफ द सुबुद्धि obtainment of एक ही चीज आज से मांगना परमात्मा द सुबुद्धि टू रीच यू ब्लेस मी विथ बल बुद्धि विद्या देहो बहि धियो यो न प्रचोदया नह धिया प्रचोदया. लेट मी हैव दैट सुबुद्धि which understands where do I stand, which understands where am I going wrong, which understands how to get rid of that wrong, which understands what is right, which has a courage and conviction to reject the wrong and take up the right. That buddhi every moment I have to have. Anukshanam. Every moment. You cannot afford as a spiritual seeker even 1 second also to forget the goal, to forget the means. We cannot. Then that will be very deep landslide like that snake and ladder game. From the snake with the snake because of snake नीचे आकर गिरते हैं फिर से उतना चढ़ने के लिए मुश्किल होता है. स्पिरिचुअल लाइक मैं ना एक जैसे एज आई टोल्ड यू द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ दीस स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर्स एटसेट्रा. एक चपाती ज्यादा खाने से उसको डाइजेस्ट करने में ज्यादा एनर्जी लगकर मैं लेजी थक जाऊंगा. then I can't do my sports properly. Ruthlessly they reject it. You tell them I'll give you 1 lakh rupees, eat 1 rupee extra, 1 roti extra. He says give 1 lakh, but I will not eat 1 rupee, 1 roti extra. That one moment he will not take like a person wants to control his diabetes. Truly, he will not take even little bit. Come what में uncompromised. मैं नहीं लूंगा मुझे सफर नहीं करना. The others they say और एक इंसुलिन ले लेंगे एक्स्ट्रा डोज ले लेंगे या कल हम उपवास करेंगे आज तो मौजा करेंगे. इनका सुबुद्धि नहीं है. The other fellow earlier ones they have the subuddhi. Subuddhi every moment. Like while driving two-wheeler. Every moment you have to have subuddhi. Even a little mistake done, ब्रेक की जगह क्लच एक्सीलेटर एक्सीलेटर की जगह ब्रेक लगाओ तो इनफ. We will not be there to do the second mistake. Isn't it? So may the Lord bless us with his subuddhi. May we pray for it. May we become day by day, minute by minute, more and more antarmukha, which is the first condition for the adhyatmic sadhana. And stay indoors only. Avrutta chakshu. Amrutatvam icha. isn't it? Even in the class, we are extroverted. Then what to talk about throughout the day? Whereas the subject that's discussed is inner. Whether it is intellectual understanding, whether mind's emotions, whether they are convictions, whether the knowledge about the truth, सब अंदर की बात है ना. Inner. सुबुद्धि हे भगवान गिव सुबुद्धि, हे भगवान गिव मी सुबुद्धि. ओम 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 सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति. ओं नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओं येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं वदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः सच्चास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ओं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ओम विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधा जलधे महितोपनिषत्कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्. एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तं ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकैन्दवसंस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां मोक्षमार्गाणां गुरुशिष्यभक्तभगवत्परम्परादीनां भक्ति ज्ञान योगादि प्रक्रियाणां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् सनातन धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि समस्त मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालय भूभागादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापन उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवा तपस्या प्रार्थना दीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रूणां शाश्वतरूपेण समूल निर्मूलनार्थं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिन्दव संस्कृतेः सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्षधर्म पुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठा द्वारा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवद्देवता गुरु शास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा माता पितृ देश धर्म सनातन धर्म भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययम् निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्. अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः. फ्रेंड्स 14, 15, 16 चैंट करो. ओम सूक्ष्मातिसूक्ष्मं कलिलस्य मध्ये विश्वस्य स्रष्टारमनेकरूपं विश्वस्यैकं परिवेष्टितारं ज्ञात्वा शिवं शान्तिमत्यन्तमेति स एव काले भुवनस्य गोप्ता विश्वादिपः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः यस्मिन् युक्ता ब्रह्मर्षयो देवताश्च तमेवं ज्ञात्वा मृत्युपाशान्श्छिनत्ति घृतात् परं मण्डमिवातिसूक्ष्मं ज्ञात्वा शिवं सर्वभूतेषु गूढं विश्वस्यैकं परिवेष्टितारं ज्ञात्वा देवम् उच्यते सर्वपाशैः. So again chant 6, 7, 8, 3 mantras. Om Dvasuparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Vruksham Parishasvajate Tayoranyah Pippalam Swadu Atti Anashtan Nanyo Avichakashiti Samane Vrukshe Purusho Nimagnaha Anishaya Shochati Muhyamanaha जुष्टं यदा पश्यत्यन्यमेषम् अस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः जुष्टं यदा पश्यत्यन्यमेषम् asya mahimanamiti shoka means the moment we start even listening also about the presence of the Parabrahma, the Atma, the Avichakashiti self, as well as the Ishvara at the Upadhi level. That moment only our shoka starts getting reduced. Yada Pashya. I am that Nirguna Brahma, Saguna Ishvara. The more we go closer to them through Jnana and Bhakti, to that extent, Vita Shokata happens more and more. And totally at the Upadhi level, surrender to the Ishvara, totally realize oneness at the Nirupadika Brahma level in the Paramatma, there is no shoka at all. You know? Like for the child. The moment he looks at mother, the shoka goes away. You know, when mother went 10 minutes late to the school to fetch that fellow. Or he came from school but she was not found because she went to neighborhood. Oh, he will become so dukhi. The moment he sees her from far distance, that shoka gets reduced. As she comes closer, her he runs to hug her. Isn't it? Then she gives him bath, dress, and the food. जितना जितना देखभाल करती है उतना उसका शौक दूर होता रहता है. Then lard and pyar and play. Finally, he makes that fellow felly sleep. Mother. So too, the Atma Tattva, as close we become to it, the Paramatma Tattva, so much we become free from shok. Because of simple common sense that Paramatma is Ananda Swarupa, naturally when we go away from him, we are going towards dukkha only. We go away from the light, we go towards darkness, we go away from the heat, we are going toward the cold places. That's a beautiful meaning of this Yatha Pashyati Anyam Isham. That as Anyam Isham Pashyati is, I am that Brahman. Asya Mahimanam is, the whole world is his only at the Upanishad. The moment the self in me is immersed in the infinite self, the upadhis are offered to the samashti upadhi maya, no shoka. Parikshitji does this only. Remember in Bhagavad Puran, toward the end, after all 12 skandhas are done, he takes permission from his Guru Shukadev. Maharaj, I want to just merge in Brahman by offering all these upadhis to the samashti maya upadhi. Please, Guru Maharaj Tathastu Kaike gives that final upadesha. Aham Brahma Parandhama Brahma Ham Paramam Padam. This is the last Upadesha given by Shukadev to the Parikshit Maharaj. Do the meditation on that. He does it, he merges in the self. The Upadhi already given to Prakriti that Takshaka comes and burns, bites and it is burnt. Pashyati Isham Asya Mahimanamiti Vita Shoka. See that? That's in Gita, other languages. Apichet Sudurachara is equal to so miserable. Because when I do durachara, I will be miserable only. Such person also. Bhajate mam. He starts doing my bhajana. And that bhajana goes to the level of ananya bhak. Bhajate is beginning. Ananya bhak is the last level. And surrendering totally. Ananya bhavena. Then sadhureva samantavya. The moment he starts doing my bhajana, he is sadhu. Then kshipram bhavati dharmatma. When he continues, he becomes dharmatma. Then Shashwat Shantim Nigachati. When he reaches to Ananya Bhak Sthiti, he will get the Shashwata Shanti. Because, hey Arjuna, know for certain for yourself and tell everyone that my devotee never perishes. Kaunteya pratijanihi me bhakta na pranashyati. Na me bhakta pranashyati. What is said in that Gita, in that language, said in Upanishad, in this language. In all of them, the way of saying is different, but what is said is one. You have gone away from yourself. Therefore, you are suffering. Or you have owned these upadhis. They are not yours. They belong to the Samashti Ishwar. टोटल सेल्फ से इंडिविजुअल सेल्फ के रूप में सेपरेट हो गए एंड द उपाधि को टोटल के लिए सर्व करने के बजाय वी स्टार्टेड यूजिंग फॉर आवर सेल्फ. You know, when government car I use for myself, I am called criminal. I will be put in jail or I will be punished. You know, the whole upadhis belong to the government. Government is the Lord. The moment we own it, we started doing crime. The result is misery. जुष्टं यदा पश्यत्यन्यमीशम् अस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः. Beautiful mantras. Then in the seventh mantra we have seen, eighth one में रुच्यो अक्षरे परमे व्योमन यस्मिन् देवा अधिविश्वे निषेधुः यस्तं न वेद किं ऋचा करिष्यति य इत्तद्विदुस्ते इमे अमृता और समासते. This also we have seen that in Brahman only all the Vedas are embedded, rooted. In Brahman only all Devatas are rooted. All Vedas indicate Jnana, all Devatas indicate the other things of the world. Both are from this Brahman only. If one doesn't know the Brahman, experience the self of the Brahman, what's the use of? All is Siddhanta Veda Jnana and otherwise all is Upasanas and reaching to various lokas and experiencing all gross things. Kim Rucha Karishyat. Rucha means Veda. Veda means all this. Veda Siddhanta Jnana of the Tattva, Veda and Vaidika Jnana regarding Upasana, Karma Kanda, Yajna Kanda and Varnasrama Dharmanushtana and doing all of them for millions of life. ये सब मिलकर किम रुचा इज द मीनिंग करिष्यति. इन सब के द्वारा उसको मिलने वाला तो नहीं है मोक्ष. इफ ही डजंट नो द सेल्फ यह तम न वेद किम रुचा करिष्यति. एंड द अदर साइड यह इत्तद विदुः यह तम न वेद किम रुचा करिष्यति. देन यह इत्तद विदुः ते इमे समास. The ones who know that self, they ime samyak asate. They are fully stationed in the state of moksha. Samyak asate. Samasate means samyak vastuni brahmani asamantad tishtanti. In the supreme reality Brahman, they are established. If they know it, so knowing the Brahman is being the Brahman. Not knowing the Brahman is knowing the Jagat and getting lost. इस तरह इसको समझना. All that should, as a summary, should make us feel within us that, therefore, I must realize the substratum. I must realize the true self. I must go beyond my upadhis and see that nirupadhik parva. ये ज्ञान हमको दृढ़ होना है. Any number of Upanishads, listen from any of the gurus, any number of times. If this understanding, conviction grows, what we are doing is correct. Then, if I have convinced myself of realizing self, then what are the sadhanas for it? Pursue those gurus, those books, which teach us those sadhanas of antarmukhata. Upanishads again teach about, like Taittiriya and all, even Mandukya, how to go beyond the upadhis. हो जाओ, लगे रहो तो हो जाएगा. So in this mantra, main point is, if Brahman is known, then you become one with Brahman. If that Brahman is not known, then with all the other things that are given to us, that are with us, that are achieved by us with our efforts, what is the use of all of them? both thought. Powerful. Now the next one, we'll go to the eighth mantra, ninth mantra. Idanim tasyeva aksharasya. Of that Parabrahma, Akshara Brahma only, Maya Upadikam Jagat Srashtutvam. That Akshara Brahma alone, with his Upadi of Maya Shakti, he appears to be the Srashta of the Jagat. Jagat Srashtutvam. And again, Maya Upadikam Tan Nimittatvancha. भेदेन दर्शयति, दोनों को अलग अलग दिखाते हैं, है ना. So therefore Parabrahma Paramatma is the abhinna nimitta upadana karana for the Jagat, without himself getting changed at all. Think about it. Homework for all of us today. That will be explained to us in this mantra. He only with the Maya Upadi becomes Srashta of the Jagat. And also Tan nimittatvam cha. He is the nimitta. Srashta means upadana karana. Nimitta means nimitta karana. Nimitta karana always is jnana aspect. Upadana karana is always the matter aspect. Like the pot maker with his jnanam is nimitta karana. The mud is called upadana karana. The karya, what is the product? The pot. Two more karanas are there. Karana karana. Karana is instruments, that the wheel and the lakdi, the danda, the pole, which the wheel is moved. Karana, instruments. Another is karma karana. कि wheel is there, post is there, mud is there, the intelligence is there. But actual action नहीं किया तो the part won't come out. Okay. In the case of this whole universe, Paramatma himself is nimitta karana. He himself is upadana. This the riddle we have to sort out. That's called Vedantic subtle understanding. ये एक पता चल गया तो then whole thing is done. For this only the subuddhi is required. Who made the world? Paramatma. Nimitta karana. What is the matter with which the world is made? Paramatma only. Upadana. This we have to realize in our intellectual understanding through the contemplation of this Upanishadic discussions or guidances or the Guru's teachings. And that Parabrahma Tattva we have to realize as myself, which is the Nimitta and Upadana Karana for the whole world. And the funniest part is, he has never become the Karana. Then why are you saying so? To pull your attention towards Brahman. है ना? जगत कार्य है, भगवान कारण है, ये बात भगवान के तरफ हमारे दृष्टि को ले जाने के लिए बताया जाता है. But after reaching Paramatma, he has never become Karana. There was no Karya came out of it. There is Karya Karana Vilakshana Shuddha Brahma. That is me. So what is the mantra? Chandamsi yajñāha kratavo vratani bhutam bhavyam yacca veda vadanti asman mayi srujate vishvametato tasminschanyo mayaya sanniruddha Chandamsi yajñāha kratavo vratani bhutam bhavyam yacca veda vadanti asmat mayi srujate vishvametato तस्मिंश्चान्यो मायया सन्निरुद्धः. बहुत मजेदार मंत्र है, एक एक मंत्र. इफ यू गो इनटू द डिटेल्स, तो छंदांसि वेदास यज्ञाः, one type of yajna karma. Kratavaha, the other yajnas called yagas. There, kratavo vratani, variety of vratas. Bhutam bhavyam kala yacha vedaha vadanti, which all are being spoken out by the Veda. All of them, Asma, from this Akshara Parabrahma only, the Mayi, the same Akshara Parabrahma with Maya Upadhi, now he's become Ishvara, Sujate, he only creates. See that? How difficult it is for a gross intellected one, even to understand the meaning of the sentences. जैसे बच्चे रात को बहुत खाए, सोते सोते जबरदस्ती they are sent to the school. In that first, all the periods in that class sessions, he'll be in such a drowsy position that which teacher has come also he has not recognized. What patham or lesson he taught. The teacher came and taught Pythagoras theorem, morning, mathematics. He has not even listened one sentence. होता है कि ना? He is a durbuddhi. The other fellow, for whatever his reasons, so fresh in the class. सुबह शाम तक 6 classes हुए. Every subject he thoroughly understood, digested. He is called Subuddhi. In our case also, if you are Subuddhi, the deeply hinted meaning behind every word sentence will be revealed to us. Okay. So Asmat Mai Sujate Vishwametat is one interesting thing. The other interesting is what? Tasminscha. In that created world, he himself, Maya, with his own Maya Anyaha, Sanniruddhaha, maintaining that sense of separateness, gets bound in that very world which he himself created. Very interesting it is. Very, very funny. अपने चॉइस से अपने द्वारा क्रिएटेड जगत के एक सेट ऑफ उपाधि से तादाद में होकर he gets bound and starts suffering. That is called you and I as जीवा. तो इन दिस श्लोका जीवा ये चार ही तो हमको जानना चाहिए ना. That's how this becomes very sacred shloka. And in its continuation, next 2 3 mantras, we'll ponder over them. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Parabrahmeshibhyo Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. That's good. Please join Gita study half an hour.